In closing today, I just want to show you this little chart because often this is what we are struggling with the most in our lives. We have these things that are known about ourselves, and we have these things that are unknown about ourselves. And a lot of preaching and teaching goes forth in our lives, and it's really difficult to know how to respond to disappointments unless we kind of get a grasp on what is really happening with us. First of all, those things in this area of the things that we know about, the things that you know about yourself. There are certain things that you can see about yourself, and others can see it too. For instance, I know that I'm a black man. I know that I got a bald head. I can see that. You can see that. That's obvious. Things that are known. You can see it. Others can see it. But then there are some things that are known. There are things that you know about yourself. You can see it, but others can't see it. Things that you know about yourself, nobody else knows. Everybody in the room can say, thank the Lord, nobody else knows. But these are things that are known, but you know it, no one else. Now let's take a look at some of the unknown areas, because I believe the Lord has me talking about this so that we can deal with this thing about disappointment. In the area of the unknown aspects of our life, there are things about yourself that you cannot see. Others can see it, but you can't see it. If it wasn't for a mirror, just to give you an example, if it wasn't for mirrors and reflection, to this day, you and I would never have ever seen our own eyes. Ever thought about that? If it weren't for mirrors and reflection, you would never have seen your eyes. It would be something that everybody else can see, but you can't see it. I can't see the back of my head. I turn around, you can see it. No matter how hard I try, I can't see it. And it's also works the same in relationships and how we interact with one another. There are certain responses that you give or things that you say, ways that you react. Others can see it, but you don't see it. It's like your own eyes. And that's often what gets us in trouble too, because once they start saying, because family members do it first, everything from your spouse to your children, they tell you the things that they see. And it's hard to accept it because it's a blind spot. Psychiatrists and psychologists call this a blind spot. Others can see it, but you can't see it. So it often sounds like an accusation. It feels like nothing but criticism. Trying to help us deal with disappointment today. When you're disappointed in yourself. That when somebody brings it up, sometimes people do have hurtful, harmful intentions in doing that. But the reality is, now you see why you got to humble yourself? The reason why we have to humble ourselves, because others can see it and you can't see it. And pride, no, it ain't. That ain't how it is. Well, no, you have to humble yourself because it's for real. It's just like your eyes. If somebody told you your eye color and you had never ever seen your eyes, they can see it. You can't see it. So don't lift up in pride. It's very easy. Oh, it's so easy because you're trying to defend yourself, because you feel so vulnerable when somebody can see something about you that you can't see. But it's a reality. But here is the toughest one. Here is the absolute toughest one in the area of the unknown. There are things about yourself that you can't see, and nobody else can see it either. There's only one who can see this, the Almighty God. So there are things that you just beating yourself over the head over. Why do I always do that? Why do I say that? Why do I keep responding? Why I keep... Because there's something that's there that you can't see. I can't see it either. You may want to go, Pastor Chris, just tell me what it is. I can't see it. But you a man of God. Ain't God showing you? No. But you prophesy over everybody else. But that don't mean, I'm just saying what I see in the moment. I can't just look at people and I see. No, it doesn't work that way. Superman laser beams. I see. No. I can only say what I hear God saying. I can only do what I see the Lord doing. There are certain things that you and I, we can't see it. Nobody else can see it. Only God can see it. And thus, when we're looking at those things that we know we shouldn't have done, that we did anyway, or the things that we were supposed to have done, that we didn't do it, God can look into and go past just the human ability for people to see something that you can't see. No, God actually can see the real reason. But his command is to humble ourselves because he can teach the humble. He can speak to the humble. Now you know why I started off with the story of the disciples, because I believe our response to our disappointment today, and that disappointment is trying to lead us to discouragement, and that discouragement that wants to lead us to rebellion and to quitting. Here's the Lord saying, just humble yourself. Privately with the Lord. Lord, why couldn't I? Just like the disciples. Lord, why couldn't I? Speak to me, Lord. Show me why I couldn't. Because here's what will happen as we humble ourselves. God's able to take those things that you and I cannot see and bring it into the known. When we humble ourselves, he can bring us, he can take it out of the darkness, out of our blind spot, and bring it into our understanding. I know that that's what I must have. That's why the psalmist was said, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear. That's why he says, the humble he guides in justice. And the humble he teaches his way. Would you join with me right now in just getting real with the Lord? Take everything that you're disappointed about. What didn't turn out the way it was supposed to? There was no doubt that the disciples were supposed to be able to handle this situation, but they couldn't. Aren't you glad the Lord doesn't come with a word of condemnation? He simply says, ask, Lord, why couldn't I?